right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV, and now to our main conversation for today. No fewer than 15 pupils have been abducted from Sangaya School by terrorists who raided Gedang Bokoso in Gada local government area of Sokoto state over the weekend. Sangaya, which is an Al-Majri school, is a facility for the teaching of Quran and Islamic knowledge. The terrorists were said to have attacked a house and abducted a woman before making a stopover at Sangaya School, where the pupils were sleeping outside when they heard the roar of motorcycles and outcry of the woman whom they abducted. Local politicians who spoke to the incident said the abduction would have been averted because the terrorists came on several motorcycles, fired several shots in the air without efforts by the security agents to thwart the attack. You're still with me in the studios to make sense of this discussion today is Mr. Olusegun Okunwade. Thank you so very much, sir, for remaining with us and being part of our show today.
Thank you very much, Henry.
All right, so quickly, let's start up with this. It's happening. Reports about abduction in Nigeria, it's becoming like a very simple criminal act, as simple as maybe a man who goes to steal a yam or something. It's becoming very, very common today. And our government and security agencies are beginning to maybe equally like other citizens feel it's not a big deal. So I don't know, what do you think we have we are making out of all of this? Isn't this debasing to our nation state?
No, thank you very much, Henry. Sincerely speaking, each day you wake up and you hear about abduction, kidnapping, terrorism. You ask yourself, what has this country turned to? What's the major reason for adoption? It's for financial gain. And I think the people that are actually perpetrating this is actually using the lapses that we have in our system for their personal gain. Because when these children are adopted, if you remember, from Chibok to the Kaduna, Katsina,
and the most recent one, where over 200.
200 were actually kidnapped, The last one is like the Chibok girls coming with bike. And you ask yourself, if you look this at locality, to cite maybe an example, the bike that will carry about 200 people, even if they put 4 on
in one bike, yeah,
that means you'll be talking about 50
bikes.
So for 50, that's minimum now. Minimum of 50 bikes to come and move pupils out without being challenged.
And the funny thing, they are going through or traveling through a tarred road. Obviously, they are not going through the bushes, of course, and it raises the question. It raises the question of if really our government aren't complicit to all of this.
You see,
because I don't understand.
I think where we started from. I remember growing up those days. You hear of robbery in some places, and the robbers would have escaped from the house. Go with belongings, and you see the security agency flying in to say we are there and start ransacking the house as if the robbers will wait for them to come. It's been challenging and worrisome. You see, after the incident that happened during the last administration, there were so many measures that were actually put in place to say, okay, schools, because there was a long break, that period where they asked them not to open schools in that region. That, okay, if you must actually set up schools, you must have fence around you, you must be able to engage the security details, in that area and the likes. And up till now, I've not seen the implementation of that thing. This is why some of us are calling for community policing, state policing, because if there is community policing, they need not to make any reference to the DPO who takes approval from the IG before he can act. They would have seen it as one of their duty to protect lives within the state, within their community, and make sure that, because that thing did not happen in the blues, it's in a community. So where are the people that are supposed to man? So two things you have achieved with that. You have created employment for people, because there are some people who are actually interested in this work of vigilante. They are well equipped to make sure that they protect lives of people.
And knowing that it's their community.
Yeah, because it's ill when you come out and you say, from where I come from, all they know about you is to be kidnapping people. It's worrisome. But you can see individuals that will be willing to support the local vigilante in such a way to provide the basic thing. I think what we need is just to have a structure. Who are the people? The recruitment process, can it be transparent in such a way that you are not recruiting, the miscreants that will start as informant because of the money that they will gain if they give out information of what is going on. But I think it's high time that we start considering diffusing this policing of a thing to the local content. Give states some autonomy to operate that. Give the local government. You can discover that if that is done for 50 back, I'm saying of minimum of 50 back, to move 200.
And they are fueled.
There is no how you guys will not attack them. Even if they will escape, they won't escape with as much as 200. So what they will be doing now is, just imagine if they bathe every of those girls that they have taken with 1 million naira. That means you are talking of over 200 million.
Yes, and talking about the ransom, for the Kaduna school kids that were kidnapped, the presidency, gave an order for the governor, Sani, to ensure that they should be returned back. And of course, the governor visited the school and ensured that he would ensure that they returned back. Don't you think there's something in the form of ransom could be exchanged in order to have that happen, rather than attacking the problem?
Yeah, Henry, we've said it, but most of the time the government will tell you that no ransom was paid for the release of the children. But one thing I've seen is that something must change there. Those guys cannot work in futility, risking their life and thinking that will not be. But part of the issue is, if you claim that ransom are not being paid, that's enough a discouraging factor for you to venture into it. Even if you don't kill them, you go out today. Let me just cite an example. Somebody who is walking on the street that is illegal. You go today, no sales. Meanwhile, somebody that stays in the shop and is doing legit business, where the government said it should be, is coming home with 10,000. You that you're on the streets, trying to hawk in an illegal manner, you are not coming home. The next day, you go, you are caught. They take you, in fact, they ask you to pay penalty, and out of no sales, you are there. Will you be interested to go the third day? The answer is no. So if indeed ransom is not being paid for some of these people, it's enough discouraging factor for these people to go into it. But what we keep saying is that ransom is not being paid, but more people are going into it. It has become so lucrative to the extent that that's a venture that some people pride themselves in.
Now, talking about
people,
yes,
to say that's what my husband is doing.
Now, talking about it becoming a lucrative venture, let's talk about this issue, especially from the north, where this criminality is predominant. And we've seen the northeast governors not really doing anything, the northwest governors not doing anything. Why do you think this is becoming a culture in the northern part of Nigeria?
Because you have not, as far as I'm concerned, you've not empowered the governors. Each time
You've not empowered the governors?
Yeah, because each time they want to tell you that they don't have control over the DPO or the CP in their state.
So the security votes they get now and then, what is it meant for?
When you get the security vote, you must have an alliance of what you want to use it for. And you use it hand in hand with the police. But you're not even getting instruction from the police to know what you want to invest the money. So it's more or less like free fund. Don't forget, years back in the Southwest, that was the same fund that was creating problem between a governor and work godfather when it comes to security votes. That he cannot be having it all. It's something that they should spread out. So I feel that part of the area where we need to start from now is diffusing the power of policing to the state. Let's be able to hold the state governor accountable. I should be able to call my governor and say, sir, this is the problem. He works within his network, understand the things that he needs to do to actually provide, because we regard to them as the CSO of the chief security officer of the state. That's the number one man. Just like you want to talk about the number one citizen of the country, which is our president, not having control over the policing of the nation, having to wait on the foreign country to give him guidance on what to do. Same is what I feel is applicable to the state. Until we take the bull by the horn and say state policing has come to stay, this is what we are actually, that is when we can see the utilization of the security vote.
But you will agree with me that state policing is awesome, but it's a long haul. It's more like a marathon in Nigeria. But let's take a look at it.
Henry, let me just hold you there. It's not a marathon. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's as simple as the normal governor, because you add it to your purview. What exactly? Some states are already, embarking on that, having security arm to protect you. If you go in the southwest, we have the Amotekun. In the east, we have the Ibube. We have all those security outfits by some state governor coming to regionalize that thing. In Lagos State, we have the Lagos State Neighborhood Watch that are empowered to do that. They may not invariably start by carrying ammunition, but it can be as informal. But you ask yourself, when you provide information to the security agency, how much of it are they actually utilizing to alter? We have had this issue of kidnapping in the north. You will hear people writing to community that we want to do this. The information is on ground, and they will still execute that particular plan in attacking schools, in attacking homes, in making people to live in fear. So until we empower the government and say, fine, we have the federal hub that possibly might take charge of the federal areas, but for the states, you must be able to diffuse that power to the local community in such a way that we can galvanize resources together in my community and look for a way to say, okay, out of so much that will come to our local area, we are going to support, in terms of it. Because one thing we keep saying, if an environment is not secure, there is no other environment can grow. And that's why we are seeing the backwardness as far as this country is concerned. Because look at the prices of food. Because farmers are not going to the farm, to go. And we all know that the north is the food basket of the nation. So when you have insecurity prevailing here and there, even if you are so knowledgeable about the issue of farming, will you want to risk your life to an insecure environment? Before now, what we've been doing is that you have the off-taker, just like what the Lagos State and the Niger State have done, to have an handshake. And that is on the premise that you are able to secure the farmer that will go there. Otherwise, even if as an off-taker, I have the resources to buy for you, and you are not producing, there's nothing we will do. And that's why we've said that the fundamental thing, as entrenched in the Constitution, 1999 Constitution, is that the government is saddled with the responsibility of protecting lives and property of every citizen. If you are able to do that, I am telling you that a lot of things that are dying in the heart of the citizen in creativity. You see, you need to get to another state to get the raw material that we use to execute that which you want to do. But the fear of you moving to that area of where you don't know. Those years we travel without knowing anybody. Are you aware that we are even having difficulty with the hoteliers? You are scared. Traveling to say, whether you will sleep and wake up the next day, in the same hotel, where people are actually, are taking the lives of those people that are actually, staying in their hotel. It's still failure of insecurity.
Now, talking about the will, of those in authority, the reason I feel personally that Amotekun was a big success in the southwest, and Ibubago is equally a bit of a success in the southeast, is because there is this will by those in authority to ensure that it works, and also in alignment with those who reside in the region. Now let's take a look at the north. How many kidnapped is too many? Because we've had hundreds of people kidnapped in Kaduna, in Borno, in Sokoto, and so on and so forth. Do you think this is politically motivated?
Well, if they say it's politically motivated, it's about them. It's just to tell you that the value attributed to the life of the citizen they govern on is really not worth it. they don't value it. That's the way I perceived it. A lot of my friends have said it that let the North continue with their kidnapping. Whatever the president can do, let him go ahead and do his best. But he should make sure that he doesn't diffuse to other regions.
But obviously it would. Obviously it would.
And that's why we are saying that each governor must take responsibility to protect its area. Each local government must take responsibility to protect their local area in such a way that when you see something, you say something, and you attack it on at the root cause. Until we have that done, I don't see any move. People can say it's politically motivated, it's being sponsored by people. Don't forget that in the past administration, we've heard series of, we've seen the list of the people sponsoring terrorism, kidnapping, and we've not heard of one name. Let me say, don't let me use we. You might be privy to that information. But as vast as I feel I know of, I have not had one single name to say this is one of the major financiers of terrorism. Dubai was about to come out with some of those people that they found, carrying out illicit, funding, transferring illicit funds. But up till now, we've not heard anything. And when there is no will on the part of we the citizens or our leaders, what do you expect the foreigners to do for you? So until we start picking this and nipping it at the bud to punish those that are actually, impoverishing us the more, I don't want to sound pessimistic. If by now we are not going to farm, expect rice to come at the rate of 150,000 per bag. Because what exactly are we going to do?
But do you think the current administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has got the gusto to make this happen, to punish those who are culpable for all of these things? Do you think he has, especially with the alliance he has with the North, okay, which gave him the bulk vote? Do you think the willpower is there to punish those who are culpable for all of this?
Yeah, well, I will say he has the willpower. To execute the willpower is a different thing. You can have the will to say, I want to do this. But executing it is a different thing. But what I'm trying to pass is, can we look at the period when we gain our independence, where there is healthy rivalry and competition within the region?
Regions, yeah.
If the Southwest decides to be peaceful, let the development continue there. If the Northerners decide to make their area ungovernable, then let it just be. Then every individual, do you know the number of Northerners that left their base and migrated to the West, where they consider peaceful?
Peaceful, exactly.
Migrated to the North, where they consider peaceful.
True.
And that's what we're advocating for. Let's see where each region, the governors in those regions and their state, make it more attractive. So that a Northerner who is considered, so by the time you become a governor of nobody, where you have lesser people and everything that is entrenched to make those things go, we can take a clue, go to, we are very close to the toll gates, and see the influx of people that are coming to the state. I've picked up on the Lagos state government to say we need to start checking people that are coming to the... People cannot leave that place and come and make Lagos ungovernable forever. So you must start asking questions in the Southwest, because part of the thing you see some of these guys do is to now influence the bad eggs and pump them in to create unrest. So let's start profiling people that come into our state. Fine, we understand that it's one Nigeria, but we need to profile to know why you are coming here. What value proposition are you going to give? So that you won't become a body, a liability. Why do you think that those foreign countries, Canada, UK, everything is raising the bar? You say you want to japa. Those days, they will tell you that the cost of their tuition fee is about 10,000. Now it's about 20,000. So that they will reduce. They can
filter the number of people coming in.
So those that actually have the sincerity of coming to study will struggle to get the funds and know that that's what they are facing. So we must start applying the same thing before you come to an area that is peaceful. We must profile your personality, not you just coming in and creating unrest or making nuisance of the environment, all because you are claiming to be one. They will always tell you that if your country is peaceful, go back to your country. I think it's high time, if you want to make it, if your environment is peaceful, go back there. Hold your governor accountable. But we cannot do that now because a lot of the security apparatus is in the hands of the federal, and we are stretching them. Let each state governor take responsibility so that if it is the southeast that is really peaceful, everybody will go there, make use of it. If we can't get raw material from you, because we are not getting it for free, the only thing we are doing is that we are exchanging it even for naira. So if you can't get it from you and you have it in excess because of insecurity, we'll get it from the people that are ready to provide it for us. At least we are seeing that playing out with Dangote Refinery. Exactly. When we have mortgaged our own future, he's now buying from US. That's a way of an average businessman to look out for a way to get whatever he needs to make his business to grow. So I feel that the federal government should start considering where we start having state policing, and the governor will not have any excuse to give for the unrest that is happening in their state. Region. And when they are unable to grow, there are people will ask them the questions.
Very, 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 very sound. That's so apt. And the truth remains that there is no reason for us as a people not to be progressive. There's no reason for us not to be successful. Nigeria is a country that is blessed, but the only issue we have is leaders who are not accountable to the people. And what we pray is to have a Nigeria where Nigerians will be happy to call themselves Nigerians. Love to say thank you so very much, Mr. Olusegun Okwade, for being part of our show today. It was really an engaging.
Thank you very much for having me, Henry. I want to appreciate all our viewers too and let them continue staying with Enterprise TV. A very beautiful way to start the week. Exactly. It's just by hooking up with us every day, between the hours of the time. Make sure that you subscribe to it and you are actually out there to have a very informative information that will guide you throughout the week.
Thank you so very much for the affirmation. I'd love to say thank you for being part of our show today. Please, just like Mr. Shison did say, visit our website today at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I'm Henry Igwebika. I'll see you tomorrow for yet another great time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye from me.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.